It's time once again to go racing.
It does not get any better than this.
The pressure is really on now.
Yes, it's pole position. Lights out and we're racing in PSGL.
The first lap has been absolute chaos.
What an overtake!
Oh no!
I've never seen anything like it.
Side by side again. This will be settled right at the end.
Hello everybody and welcome along to PSGL Season 30. This is the F2 tier on the PlayStation platform and we head to a circuit which was first used in Formula 1 back in 1950 and it is one of my favourite tracks and it's quite historic as well. It is of course Spa-Francorchamps in the Ardennes Forest for the Belgium Grand Prix. My name is Jess. I'm your commentator for this evening's race. Unfortunately, Owen is unable to make it, so it's just myself solo commentating. But what a race we had last week. We were at Jeddah. It was pretty decent, actually. And we had a result that was decided by the stewards because it hasn't been the first time it's done so as well. And it changed who won the race. So, looking at the stewards' result as well, it was Baraka who originally took the race victory, but he got a penalty. And what is the penalty? I might ask. The penalty was an unsafe safety car restart and failing to keep constant speed. That was warned in the driver's briefing. So it was made quite clear to the drivers. And he also got a qualifying ban to serve in Spa tonight as well due to impeding Devon during qualifying, which means CC Brain, who was looking like to be the favourite on the alternate strategy last week, went on and took the win, which is something that I was not expecting. I think his first win on the alternate strategy since I think Japan season 26, which makes it a 7th different race winner in PSGL PSF2, which I have to say is quite incredible. So we'll look at the driver standings then before we head to qualifying. So, Baraka still leads, even though he didn't win last week. He got demoted actually to 4th position, so which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, he is still in leading. Quite big margin though, 25 points. Pretty much a race win or two almost to CC Brain in 2nd place. He jumped to 2nd after that race victory. That's how close the championship is from P2 downwards. Devon is in 3rd position. Jax is in 4th on 40. Then we have Valentin, who was 5th on 32, joint with Tom. Then we have Andrea on 29, Louis on 28, Legend on 27, Kazizel on 24. He had a very bad day in the office last week. He needs something to recover for this week. Dino on 16 points, Nicolo, who's actually now a full-time driver, according to the standings. So, welcome to him. He's not here tonight though, so hopefully he will be back next time about. And we got Vicky on 14 points, Kryptonite on 11, Bone on 6, Azzy on 5, Patch Schneider on 4. Patch Schneider can't make it tonight, unfortunately. Then we got Cohen, Eltink, and then Yannick yet to score. So, those are your driver's standings. So, without further ado, let's get on with the qualifying session. 17 drivers tonight, which is great to see. We do have a few new reserve drivers. I've got to mention, actually, Soro is here tonight. He just hasn't left the pits yet. Sorry, Soro, that I didn't spot you. But we have got Frankie in the Williams tonight. I believe he's full-time, actually, because Yannick has quit. I think he's full-time now, but I need to double-check that. Steph is filling in for, I need to check who he's filling for. Pat Schneider in the AlphaTauri tonight. And I think that's all the reserves tonight. Now we obviously got Boland back in a Mercedes tonight. He had a very unlucky result at Austria. He was leading for most of it, but the safety car he got quite unlucky. But he's hoping to score some points for Mercedes tonight as well as we head towards Legcom. Quite a common place to overtake. Now you're going to be heading towards Bruxelles or Brussels. I don't know how you say that corner, but I like to call that corner there anyway. And then you're going to be heading towards the corner of No Name. You'll be topping around about 4th, 5th, 6th gear around here. 5th on corner exit. And then you're going to be heading towards Put1 is a corner, which separates the good drivers from the greats. There's so much time to be gained or lost through there. I usually tend to lose it through there because I always go wide. But anyway, through campus now. You'll be at almost around about 160 miles per hour here. Going through Paul Fair now. Past down below 2. And now you're going to be heading towards Blanchimont, which is full power there as well. You'll be in 8th gear as well, reaching speeds of almost 210 miles per hour as well. You don't want to be derating towards the line because you'll cost a bit of time, as Bolin has unfortunately invalidated. So that's ruined my run, but there we go. But we are starting to see some lap times on the board. So Jax is currently on provisional pole position, 1:42.7. He's on the mediums though. And we have, I believe, Bolin, who obviously is invalidated. He crossed the line as he came across the line in P1 with a 1:42.4. Next across the line will be one of the Red Bulls. I think that's, no, it would be Kryptonite, but he has invalidated. So it will be the AlphaTauri of Devon, who's currently sitting P3 in the championship. He got knocked down due to CC Brain's win last week. As Devon up to the line he goes, and what will the time be for him? 1:41.9. First man is the 1:41s so far. Then we got the two Alpines. Dino comes across the line in P2. Frankie heading towards Paul Frere now, but I believe Ricky is next across the line. Yes, he is. It will be a 1:42.046 for the Alpine driver. So it will be the other Red Bull, or I think is it Kryptonite or is it CC Brain? It is CC Brain because Kryptonite has invalidated. The CC Brain last week's race winner up to the line, 1:43.3. I wonder if he's aiming for the alternate strategy again this week. Aston Martin driver up to the line then. Kazizzle, he hasn't set a lap time yet, but he's going to be going on his first run. What about his teammate? He comes across the final corner, and unfortunately he does invalidate on his run too. Invalidation seems to be a common thing at Spa. That's what I noticed at PCF2 as well when I was commentating with the legend himself, Mr. King Kodiak, that it took a while for people to get their runs in, and I think it was mainly their middle runs which set the pace in qualifying. Their final runs or their first ones were just not good at all. So I think we could see something similar tonight. Valentine has invalidated. He's going into the pit lane, so he is not happy with his lap time. Now we got, I think, the house was going into the pit. I'm just trying to see if anyone else is further on a lap. But it is quite a long lap, so it won't be hard to catch people on their laps today. So it will be our newest full-time driver, even though he has been a reserve for quite a long time. Our newest full-time driver, Nicolo Soro, who scored quite a few points this season up to the bus stop chicane. I don't know why it's called a bus stop, but it is called a bus stop chicane. I'm not the one who created this track. Now that's 1:41.8. Now recently as well, I've seen on Twitter there has been a few changes in real life that they're going to do, or they have done, to El Rouge and Radion as well to make it more safe. I think they're going to have like more of a sausage curb as well. I wonder if it will be changed for the next real life version of the Belgian Grand Prix later on this year. Hopefully it doesn't get cancelled. Hopefully there's no wet weather, but there we go. Because it's all up to the line. 1:41.7. Interesting fact about the track. Like I said, first use of Formula 1 back in 1950. Juan Manuel Fangio won the first Belgian Grand Prix back then. And obviously he's became very successful with his multiple championships that he has won, and making Mercedes a very well-known name. And it remained on the calendar through the 1960s, which was dominated by Jim Clark. But due to the nature of the high-speed layout, there was quite a few incidents, and there was a safety campaign that was launched to change quite a lot of the circuit. It used to be, I think, over 12-14 kilometres, this track, but it is 7.004 kilometres. It's well over the limit that Formula 1 has set for, obviously, the distance of the track, but I think there are some reasons why Spa is allowed to race in Formula 1. probably due to the historic nature and how brilliant Spa is. I always love commentating Spa. I just never get bored of it. There's always some crazy things that happen, and there could be a potential for some wet weather running as well. So Baraka, as I told you before, he's on a quali ban this week, so he is going to be doing his outlap, and then he'll be coming into the pits, and then he will be serving his quali ban there and retiring from the session. Well, hopefully he does that anyway, because if he doesn't do that, then he's going to be a bit of a naughty boy. But we still got more people on their outlaps right now again for their second runs. Only a few people have set their best lap times on the mediums at the moment. One of which will be Tom. He's on his medium run now. As it would help, I got the time set from best to tire. There we go. That'll probably be better. I'll probably get a little bit less confusing. So, Tom. He got a win, don't forget, in Monaco. And then he got, no, not Monaco, France. Then he got a podium in Hungary. And then he DNF'd in Austria. And then he didn't get as many points in Jeddah. He was looking quite good in Jeddah, because obviously he had a good track record of street circuits anyway in other leagues. But he did get caught up in quite a few things towards the end of the race, which got a little bit too crazy, to be honest. And the two Aston Martin teammates had a bit of issues that caused obviously both of them to retire from the race. Devon then came from F3 last season, got a point to prove, still in his championship fight, 2 points behind CC Brain, but 27 points behind our leader Baraka. And with Baraka having a qualifying ban, this is a chance for him to redeem himself and capitalise on Baraka starting lower down the grid. Will the on strategy play out for Baraka though? Or will the ones on the soft to medium strategy work wonders? It is an easy one-stop race here. Soft to mediums. Nobody, I think, will be touching the hards unless someone has significant damage lap one, which I hope doesn't happen. And there's someone in the chat that's saying this is their first time watching PSF2. Hello, welcome. And if it's your first time to PSGL as well, this is short qualifying, 18 minutes, and the fastest time set at the end of this session will be pole position. And if you want to see a taste of the full qualifying session, Wednesday night, 7 PM, PCF1. Not this week though, it's break week coming up, so no PSGL this week. But a few more people setting lap times. Andrea up to the line, P2, Valentine, the pole meister. He won. Now Valentine has converted his poles to win. He was again another unlucky person last week in Jeddah. Got 0 points, I believe. So he's got a point to prove. But Devon, bus stop chicane. I think we've got a Williams driver up next. I'll need to find out which Williams driver it is. He might be on his outlap actually. Devon up to the line, P3. I think he stays where he is in P3, which is great to see. I think Frankie is on his outlap. Yes, he is on his outlap. What about Devon's teammate, Steph, who again is making his debut to PSF2 tonight. He's got a point to prove because he's got to show to Kryptonite, and Connor, the guys that placed him into F2, that he deserves to be there, because if he does not, he may get moved down. So, you know, this is kind of like his initiation race for him. Cohen, I was going to say he was on a lap, but unfortunately, he invalidated his lap. People just not seem to be getting some of the laps in, really. This could be enough for these guys, but I'm sure, obviously, these drivers will be very, very quicker in terms of track evolution, which is always quite common around this track. So I wonder if Cohen will get to go again, or will he go into the pits? I think he'll go to the pits, because otherwise, due to the fact the track is so long, there's going to be no time for him to go into the pits. CC Brain has, unfortunately, invalidated as well. I'm just seeing if any of the Haas cars are on laps. Andrea is on a lap. He has, unfortunately, invalidated too. Come on, someone has not got to invalidate. Soro has invalidated as well. Typical. Frankie, please don't invalidate. Well, he hasn't invalidated. That's good. So he's heading towards Paul Frere now. That is a corner where I've seen quite a few people invalidate. When I was practicing for another league, that is a place usually where I invalidated myself. And I think he's probably He's backed off his lap. He's backed off his lap. He's got 100% ERS. Typical. Typical. So hopefully we'll see some proper laps very, very soon. Not for Cazzizzle though, because he has invalidated, but he's going to go in. So at the halfway stage, with a few minutes left to go of the session, it is Valentine on pole position, Cazzizzle in P2, Devin in P3, Andrea in P4, Soro in P5, Ricky in P6, Azzy in P7, Frankie in P8. Dino has retired. Now, he has not got a qualifying ban, Dino. So, I wonder if he binned it probably in the infamous Rouge. Now, there is a yellow flag. I think Ricky is just warming his tyres up a little bit. There we go. That's probably why he's doing that. And now we've got Jax in P10, Steph in P11, CC Brain in P12. Everyone else has yet to set a valid lap time. They've got to get a move on though, because they only got a few minutes left. Someone asked in the chat, what did Baraka do to get a ban? Well, because you probably joined at a later time when I was discussing it. He had 2 license points and 5 seconds added to his final race time for an unsafe safety car restart. But he got a qualifying ban due to blocking Devon in qualifying last week around Jeddah. So, there we go. That is the rule at PSGL. If you impede someone in qualifying, that is an instant qualifying ban. There's no question about that rule. Usually that's quite straightforward. If you're seeing blocking, well, you can't really defend that unless you're probably on an outlap yourself. If you're not on an outlap and you block, then there we go. So, 2 minutes and 28 seconds left on the clock. So, I'm looking at the qualifying results so far based on championship standings. Now, Valentine is quoted in 6th. He's leading. Cazzizzle in a decent position. He can climb up in the top 10. Obviously, if he was to finish there. Devin is our highest of our championship contenders, the likes of CC Brain, Baraka, Jax as well, and obviously Valentine. So, Devin has still got a lot of time to find, but Valentine's lap, I have to say, is quite incredible. Looking at the gaps between himself and everybody else, if I just get the gap to leader, there we go. It's around about 4/10 per second. That is insane. Valentine's a good qualifier, but we remember last season, he qualifies well, he usually bins it in the race. He's only had a few DNFs this season though. Most of the races he scored points, apart from the race he didn't show up to in Hungary. He got 0 points in Jeddah, like I said, but he did get the fastest lap. He got a podium in Portugal, win in Silverstone. He got 3 points in France and 2 points in Austria. So let's see what he could do then. Right, let's take you on board actually a lap of... Actually, no, because we want to follow people's qualifying laps. So I already took on board someone a lap until someone invalidated. But there we go. There's quite a few people on their lap first. Who will be first to cross the line? It will be... I thought it would be Nicolo Sora. It's Cohen actually. That will be first to one of the first people to cross the line. So we'll keep an eye on him first. We'll see what his I'll see what people set to one time is at the moment. It seems like no one can match Valentine, but people's job is to prove people wrong. Oh, Cohen took Pooh on quite interestingly as well. We'll see what Kryptonite does through the first sector. He's on the mediums though, but he hasn't set a lap. So if he does qualify inside the top 10 on that medium run, that'll be pretty impressive for the Red Bull driver. But let's go on board back with Cohen. He has unfortunately invalidated. So when I go off board with him, he invalidates. Typical. So let's go on board with Ricky, who's purple in the middle sector then. This could be a good lap for the Alpine driver. Currently sitting in P14 in the championship. Not where he wants to be in the standings. But if he has a good final sector, this could be a mega lap for him. Could he be the one to match Valentine? We'll have to wait and see. The checker flag has dropped, but everyone is still allowed to finish their laps. Ricky, up to the line. P6. So he didn't have the best final sector, but he was 1/10 better than his previous. Then we've got the Haas. No, it's not Azzy. It's his teammate of Andrea up to the line. P4. Next will be one of the Red Bulls. I think it's Kryptonite. Yeah, it is Kryptonite. Kryptonite up to the line. He can only manage P11, but he's a crucial P11 for the alternate strategy. But surely he would have wanted higher. The other Haas could only manage P7. Next will be the only Mercedes to set qualifying lap due to Baraka's qualifying ban. So Bolan up to the line. What can he manage from 17th? P2. Decent lap for him, but not quite enough to meet Valentine's level. He was purple in the final sector though. So he was absolutely pushing there. Devon, P3. Quite close between third and fourth by just under 100th of a second. Kazidle, there is a tyre floating around somewhere. It might be just me. Kazidle up to the line. He needs luck after his win in Austria. He didn't do well in Jeddah. P2. 6/100ths slower than Valentine, but he was the only one to got even closer. What about his teammate? Could only manage 13th, but I'm guessing he wanted to go on the alternate strategy anyway, which was why he backed off. So, that is your qualifying results. So it is Valentine on pole position once again. I need to actually double check how many poles he has got, because he's got the most this season. So he got obviously one in Portugal, and he got one in Jeddah. I swear he got more poles than that. Might be my imagination, but yeah, he's continuing back to his pole form. I do remember though, Valentine did not have a track record around here in Spa last season. His race did end pretty early, but actually I will check last season's results around Spa, because that could be quite interesting. Anyway, Ferrari on top, just like in real life actually, and if you didn't watch the Bahrain race last night in real life, it was absolutely incredible. Worth to watch. Kazidle in P2, Bolan in P3. Good result for him. Devon in 4th, so all Dutch front row. Then we got the Italians of Nicolo Sora, Andrea, Ricky and Azzy occupying the next 2 rows. Then Steph in P9 and Frankie in P10. They'll have to start on the tyres they qualified on. And we got Dino, Jax, Tom, Kryptonite, CC Brain, Cohen and Baraka. So quite close between the top 8, I should say, in qualifying. And I'm very intrigued to see how it's all going to go for the race. So make sure you strap yourself in, because it's going to be amazing. I always love commentating on Spa. I have to say, I know I keep saying it, but it's brilliant as well. One of the other tracks, obviously, that Spa obviously has is Belgium is Zolder as well, which I have to say is quite good. What is your favourite Belgium track? Is it Spa or Zolder? But I think Zolder has a fresh place in my heart. So, before we go into the qualifying session, it will be a good time to mention our sponsor. If I can get the right image up. There we go. So, we are sponsored by Grid Rival, and I need to actually get the thing I'm meant to be saying for that. It would help if I do. I should have things prepared before as head of comms at PSGL, but I do not. So it's sponsored by Grid Rival, which is a fancy league game for Formula 1. It has unmatched research tools, simple team management with a new contract system. I know quite a lot of you like the new contract system as well. It has detailed performance data and loads of engaging social features. And if you are interested of signing up to the Fantasy League, it's not too late. Even though the season has already started, you can still get decent points. Join our PSGL League on Grid Rival by using the affiliate link in the description below. And we are just about to head into the race. The drivers are on their formation laps at the moment. So let me switch to that scene now. So, here we go. So, we've got Valentine all the way down to Frankie, obviously starting on the soft compounder tyres. But outside the top 10, it's interesting. Obviously, I don't know what the weather's going to be like, so I do expect it could be dry for the whole race. So, obviously, like I said, easy one-stop race. Now, I will keep an eye, obviously, on the tyre situation as well. Softs are meant to last 9 laps. Mediums, 14 laps. Hards, 19. But you don't really want to be touching the hards, like I said. So, from Dino all the way down to Cohen on the mediums. Baraka's going on the softs. Not where I want to be. outside the top 10, but Baraka thinks he can get past these guys very, very quickly. So, a very brave move, but if one person could do it, Baraka can. So, let us know your predictions in the F2 chat on who you think is going to be winning this race. Now, I'm a person that hardly likes predictions, because when I usually predict on something, it usually goes wrong. So, I am going to say, it's quite tough. And I'm going to go bold. I'm going to go very bold. I think Jax. The alternate strategy I think is going to work wonders today. I think it's either going to be Jax for the win or Devon. I know people might say, oh, Devon's in P4, but Devon's a man that likes this track. I've seen him do well in previous leagues, so I think Devon could do quite well. Bolin could do well if he does a DNF, same with Kazizzle. Valentin, the same thing. He's got to improve on his consistency. But, like I said earlier, Valentin has had a few podiums already. So we are about to get started. A few people just arriving in time for the race, which is good news. Don't forget, PSF1 on at 8 PM UK time in about half an hour. But you may as well stay in for F2 because it's going to be an absolute cracker today. I wonder if I'm going to have a voice by the end of this. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, the 5 red lights are on here at PSGL PSF2, and we are underway. Let's see who has a decent start. It is Valentin as they make their way towards last source as well. Usually P3 has the better start as well, but look at that. Biden has had a fantastic start. As I said that, good timing indeed, because Izzle tries to fight back as they all head towards Rouge. They went through very cleanly in towards their source. Can they make it cleanly through Rouge then as well? Ricky looking good on Adio as well. Same with the McLaren as well. Baraka not having a good start. He wasn't getting the positions he would have needed. Down in 17th position. But there's other drivers that are hot on their heels as well. Jax started 11th. I think he had the worst start out of everybody. So this is why I shouldn't predict, folks. Because they start to bottle it just like Jax did. Jax started P11 all the way down in P16. And he's trying to fight back. Going on the right-hand side into this next corner. Now heading towards No Name. Can he cover off to the inside? I think he does. Yes, he does in that Alfa Romeo. The car that did very well in real life, getting double points. And CC Brain almost got Jax there for the time being as they head towards Pouron. So, lots of movement in the midfield, but at the front, it remained unchanged. It looked like Boylan had the best getaway because it was able to get the move done before they went on to up the hill in towards El Rouge. So the DRS detection point won't be activated yet. Valentin is almost broken out of DRS to Kazizzle, which is good news for him. Not good news to Kazizzle, which could allow Bowden to catch up anytime soon. Andrea, right on at the back of Devon. He has got a point to prove this season. He's already used quite a bit of ERS already. He's got to work on his ERS management. Andrea currently sitting in P8 in the standings. But the only time he's not scored a point was in Hungary. Apart from that, he scored points in every single race, so his consistency is quite key. Baraka has got past both Jack and CT Brain then. They're probably still having a battle in front, but let's see what's happening here. Yes, Valentin's already broken with it in DRS, so out of DRS, sorry. So Valentin already looking quite quick already. I was watching his start and it was looking incredible, to be fair, but he is the fastest man out there. I'm surprised Kazizzle is not closing up to him, because obviously Kazizzle was the closest man to him in qualifying, but it was his final lap that did it for Kazizzle, and he needs to work on making sure that his laps are consistent in order to catch up to the Ferrari, so otherwise Biden can catch up sooner or later. Let's see how everyone's ERS is managing. Kazizzle actually, his ERS is not very good. He's on 29% already. This will be music to Berlin's ears. Now, when you go on board with Berlin, for example, as soon as you see the reds flashing light on Kazizzle's car, it means that he's harvesting, he's derating. He's on 10%, he'll be on 10%, and it could be like, Berlin, it's time to push. And I'm almost certain that there will be Jeffs in certain PSN parties that are watching the stream, keeping a close eye on proceedings as well. And we have seen quite changeable conditions at the Ardennes Forest. We could see it here today, but you never know. At the moment, it's looking quite sunny. 1:44.9 already for Valentine. On lap 3, 1.3 seconds is the gap. Soro knows that his opportunity is counting to get the run into Eau Rouge because he's going to have the DRS. This could be the person who could challenge for the move first, but we'll keep an eye on the guys in front as well. We'll see if Bolin could try and make the move on Cazzizzle. Then he goes right on the gearbox in, using the slipstream and the toe, which is quite common around this track. To the right hand side, is it a good overtake? Yes, it is. And I don't think Cazzizzle's going to cover him off, so Bolin's up into P2. Nicolo Soro did not get past Andrea, so Andrea stays P5. Nicolo Soro stays in P6. Downforce can be affected actually towards Eau Rouge if you're following another car. But luckily in real life, I actually can't wait to see in real life how the new regulations will help follow cars closely around Belgium. I'm just so excited about that. And turn 18 could be a heavy braking zone as well. It's getting less clear than it was at the start of the race. It's getting quite dark already. Could we see some rain on the horizon? But to be fair, the Ardennes Forest has the highest amount of rainfall out of most circuits, so not really that surprising. We shall see. So this could be a long race for these guys. Maybe people on the medium tyres has worked wonders, but it might not because the rain could come sooner than the drivers thought. So Baraka's up to P12. So he's had a good start. He needs to just get past Dino. Then he'll be near the soft runners and he will then try to chase them down. It's one thing chasing a driver, it's another thing overtaking them. So it's going to be hard for him, but we shall see. Devin then could launch an overtake on Cazzizzle through Eau Rouge. Everyone's in that same DRS train almost. No one has gone into the pits yet, but saying that, someone might do. We've got our first time penalty for Cohen, but here comes Devin on Cazzizzle. I don't think Cazzizzle is challenging Devin too much, so Devin up to P3. Lots of moves happening in the background. We got Ricky that's got past Azzy up to P7. We got Frankie that's got past Steph into P9. Frankie setting the fastest first sector at the moment. So we will look at positions gained then from the drivers. Here we go. So Bolin has gained 1 place. Devin has gained 1 place. Andrea has gained 1 place. Frankie has gained 1 place. Baraka has gained 5 places. Kryptonite has gained 1 place. And Cohen has gained 2 places. Biggest losers. Jack's down 4. Obviously side 11th. Already down into 16th position. Tom down 2. CC Brain down 2. Cazzizzle down 2. Cazzizzle seems to be struggling compared to the other front runners. As Dino gets past Seth into Paul Fred. That was a very nice move actually from him. So Dino is up into 10th place. Don't forget, if you're new to PSGL, the top 10 score points. And it's not like the usual Formula 1 system. It starts with a P1 16 points, P2 12, P3 10, P4 8, P5 6. And then so on and so forth all the way down to 1 point for 10th place. So no one seems to be budging at the moment, but if there is a threat of rain coming up, which could happen, it is getting a bit clear again, so the overcast nature that we had could change, but I think there's certain parts of the circuit, because it's quite long, it's overcast, and there's some parts of the circuit where it's quite clear. Sector 1 is definitely the most clearest, but look at Devin and Bolin. Devin is on a charge at the moment here at Spa, because it's all dropping like flies. He almost had Nicola Soro got past him, because this all stayed in P4. Andrea has been passed by Nicolo Soro. He eventually got the move done, which I have to say was pretty good. Through the corner of No Name they go. Cazzizzle is not finding Spa very good at the moment as he's closing in, but he has some time to recover since it's quite a long lap. So he has plenty of opportunities. And Baraka's obviously gained the most, gained 7. So Baraka His next target is the rest of the soft runners. He's now caught up to the soft runners. The only soft runner that is struggling at the moment is Steph. He's had Dino that went past him, so maybe we've came to the crossover period pretty much earlier than expected. So we will find out if that has changed things ever so slightly. Cohen, he's got a chasing Red Bull and Aston Martin as well. And he's going to be the prancing horse as they head towards the source very, very soon. He's using the overtake. He's committed to the move. Even though Kryptonite has the DRS, you can see I think Cohen has more ERS. Yes, he does. He did back up that fact. What about Tom? Tom has 70%, so he has roughly the same. So, let's see then. Is anyone going to make the move up front then? Is Sora going to make the move on because he's all he had the chance? And he decided to wait a few more laps, be a bit patient perhaps. Kryptonite though, it was almost going to be 3 wide. Oh my goodness, as Cohen goes to the inside of Steph. Could he go 2 drivers in one go? He does not. But I have to say, fair play to these guys as well. We've got Tom trying to go on the right hand side into, I think, I'm not trying to remember what corner it is. It is turn, I think turn 10? I think it's turn 10. There's so many corners, it's hard to track on this game. We're starting to see the medium runners play a bit more aggressive. They're hoping the rain's going to come later if there is rain. As Steph almost got past Jax, he's dropping a lot, so I wonder if he's got damage somehow. Or I wonder if his time management is not the best, because I think CC Brain is going to get past him eventually. With ERS he goes. And we got, I think, Frankie that's got past Azzy. And then we got CC Brain that's got past Steph. Yeah, CC Brain has got past Steph. But let's jump back to the midfield battle. Soro in the pits. Now that is early. That is early, but he's going for the cheeky undercut. He knows in a few laps' time the softs could die. So he's maximising that opportunity. He knows that the mediums could get to the end from here. Could this pay off? I've seen the undercut work very well. I've done the undercut a few times around this track. When I did the soft to medium strategy once in career mode. As Soro comes out, so does Frankie. But Bolin has now overtaken Devon again, up to P2. So Devon unfortunately missed out on an opportunity, but I'm a bit surprised Devon hasn't used much ERS. Because I thought he would trying to overtake him, but he might just be a good energy. He might just be good at his energy management. You never know, because he's on 44. Andrea has used the most out of these top 5, so that's why he's dropping at the moment. But Dino, I think we're starting to see, yeah, we are starting to see the crossover point now, because Dino is already on the back of Azzy. So surely that is a sign for the soft runners to go into the pits, because there is no way that those tyres could make it past the rain period if there is rain. So we're going to see Azzy trying to cover off to the inside. Dino looks left. He's going left. He's on the attack, and the attack has worked. The attack has worked for Dino then. Facecam nicely executed for him, and he's up to PA. But we got a battle for P2. Byron and Kazidor is in. Andrea's in. Baraka stays out. So does Dino. Obviously, Baraka's obviously covering off his teammates, so that's why he is staying out, which is fair enough. I'm surprised that the top 2 haven't come in though. So I wonder if this will come into fruition. Let's follow Soro. He could jump a few people here. We'll have to wait and see. La Saucy goes in the McLaren. McLaren that hasn't done very well in real life. He's looking to do very well here. That is very close actually. Soro has jumped Andrea and he's jumped Kazizzle. So Soro, that is a good pit stop. He almost jumped Bolin, but not quite. Kazizzle could overtake Soro with the fresher tyres though, but he decides to back off a little bit. Frankie does get past Andrea as well. So it is proven here that the undercut is working, and if you're Valentine, if you're Devon, you're thinking, uh-oh, I should have pitted. But it might have been too late to respond. Sometimes you got to make your bed and lie in it, and that is what these two drivers have got to do. Obviously, Baraka had no other choice. His teammate was ahead, and he had the priority over the pit stop. So Baraka has got to make sure that he has the best in-lap that he can. We're almost halfway into this Belgium Grand Prix, and as soon as most people are pitted, we will go through the overall results so far. So will any of the top three come in? Yes, they do. Valentine's in, Devon's in, Baraka's in, just as they're about to start lap 9. So it will be Dino will come across the line in the race lead, but yet he is yet to make his first stop. So he stays in P1, Cohen in P2. So Cohen doing well on those mediums then as well. Steph, I don't know why he's staying out. Probably he's seeing things that we could possibly not imagine. And he's not good at his ERS, so I think, I don't know, maybe the step up to F2 may have been the wrong decision. We don't know. Maybe he's not smart enough on strategy compared to other drivers. But we're watching the medium runners battling like crazy here at Spa-Francorchamps. And there's been quite a few moments in Spa-Francorchamps as well. Remember 1998, Michael Schumacher hit David Coulthard, and that costed both of their races. They ended up retiring. Damon Hill winning a race for Jordan. First win for Jordan in a long while. Charles Leclerc got his first ever victory around Spa during a very tough time. 2000, Mika Häkkinen had an overtaking masterclass. And I have to say, obviously, I love Mika Häkkinen. Mika Häkkinen is one of my favourite drivers of all time. And it was between himself and Schumacher. He lost control of his car, which had to move down, but the overtakes he made to try and get past to get the win was absolutely crazy. So I wonder if we can see somebody take a similar comeback as Jackson on the run to the bus stop. We haven't seen many moves towards the bus stop chicane tonight. Could we see it now? I don't think so. I'm surprised nobody's being a bit brave there, to be fair. But Valentine got the overcut done on Soro, not on Boden though. So Boden is your race leader, your net race leader. Valentine P2, Soro P3, Gazillo P4. Devon's dropped from second and third to 5th. So him staying out for a very long time has costed him. I think Steph has come in. Yes, Steph has come in. So Steph is now on the medium tyres. And Kryptonite has got past Cohen up into P2. I'm liking this midfield scrap. It's very, very good. Look at that train. And Jack, oh, we could go for a lunge. Heading towards Rivage. And it's corner of no name. I was trying to remember the corner names, but I think I definitely remember this Rivage. But look at this. We have got the Red Bull trying to cut back on Jax as well. Side by side through Pouon. Can they keep the car steady and on the track as they head towards campus now? Still, wheels touching. They make contact a little bit, but this is superb racing. And then they just gone off the track a little bit there. But CC Brain in 5th position, Jack in 6th. So Jack is dropping a little bit, but my oh my. Good battles between the medium runners. I think we could see a similar battle between the likes of Bolan, Valentine, Nicolo, Kazizel, Devon, all in that train. Don't forget Devon, even though he did not benefit from the overcut, he could still be in a chance to win in this race. Here comes Kazizel, a move to the bus stop chicane then, down the inside, and here he comes then, Kazizel, what a move. He was doing a Ricardo set, he was like, see you later. Well, it was kind of like a Nico Hulkenberg, see you later, but Kazizel, he is challenging his inner Hulkenberg and Ricardo at the same time. Imagine that. Similar characters, eh? Up to 9th on the road. And Annette P3 But the question is there rain on the horizon? Cohen, past Kryptonite. Tom almost got past Kryptonite as well. Here we go. Battle for the net race lead. Valentin down the inside into Lecom. And he makes it work perfectly up into P7. There's just so many battles happening. It's just hard to look at the moment. And we are approaching the halfway point of this race. And has your predictions changed from the start? We shall see. Valentin doing well on his battery as well, which helped him do the overtake. He's even using his overtake sometimes to make sure he stays ahead of Bolin, which I think is very, very tactful. But we are noticing Bolin has less, and he's still using it. He's got to be careful because he doesn't want to go below the 10% range because you lose so much more power when you do that. When you get under 10%, you lose quite a bit of straight line speed. So, I think we can see some more midfield battles. So let's watch that between the ones on the mediums. Jax is in then. That is early. Interesting. I wonder if he's picked up some damage. Only one way to find out in this Alfa Romeo. Could this be a tap? He's going on the softs. Now let me do some maths. 22 minus 9. 13. He can... Oh, it's a bit of a push. It's a bit of a push. His tyres are going to be absolutely cooked at the end. But with that cheeky undercut on the aluminium runners, it could work wonders. Kryptonite. He goes a move on the inside into Lecom up to P2. Cohen stays in P3 with Tom in P4. CC Brain been the lowest of the medium runners so far, but these guys yet to pit. But once they saw the likes of Jax pitted, I wonder if they're starting to question, or should I pit now or should I wait to a possibility of rain? Maybe the guys in chat are tricking me, because I know Tom has put in the chat, or there could be rain, but there might not be. It was getting dark quite early as well, and we do know, I think at PSGL the weather is set to approximate, so yeah, I should never believe chat, but then probably in a few laps time I could believe chat and say, oh, there is rain. But we don't know. I don't know who to believe at this point. But Cohen's got a good launch then through Blanchimont, using all the power that he needs to. Used a bit of overtake there. Is he going to go for the overtake now? He's very, very close. I'm surprised he hasn't used his battery. He didn't need to. It was close enough to overtake without using the overtake button. Great job from Cohen. Up to P2, but look at Kryptonite! Look at Kryptonite side by side with Tom into turn 1. He almost got it done into that source as well. Tom late on the brakes there. Oh! Cohen and CC Brain make contact. Cohen is almost in the wall. That was so lucky that there wasn't a retirement there, but that was the first incident in the race. I'm surprised it took so long for an incident to happen. But Cohen's race is ruined. He has to come in now for the soft, but down in a lonely 16th place. CC Brain's race ruined as well. But at least he's got no damage. Raka is going to try and get past him, but he does not, up to P10. Oh my. That was very interesting. It looked like, obviously, watching it back, it looked like, obviously, one of the Aston Martins, or someone broke a bit late. And then someone tried to get the move done similarly into that source, and it just didn't work out. I remember in F1 2019, I think, I was battling with a Toro Rosso. Actually, I was in a Toro Rosso. I was battling, I can't remember what car I was battling at the time, but I was late on the brakes. I was not meant to go on the move on the outside into turn 1. Actually, it was on the inside. It was on the right-hand side line into that source anyway. And it worked. I thought it was going to end up in a crash, but it did not. And the chat may be right after all, as it's getting darker and darker and darker. So, this is what I would do if I was on the medium tyres. If I was on the medium tyres right now, and you've been on them since the start, I would stay out, because this could be the opportunity to get some huge points for the championship. I mean, decent points. And Jack setting the fastest lap of the race as well, which will go to someone inside the top 10. If it goes to someone outside the top 10, they won't get points. Simple as that. Here comes Valentine on Kryptonite. So I think this is showing that the alternate strategy has not worked wonders, staying out on the mediums as long as they could, because Valentine's medium temperature and just overall pace is looking brilliant. Cazzizzle and Bone, I think, not able to get past Kryptonite, which is allowing Valentine to stretch a very good gap on the rest of the field. This is what he's looking for. Could we see, for the first time in PSGL this season, that someone who gets pole gets a victory? Come on, it has to happen at some point. It has to happen. So if you are liking the content over at PSGL at the moment, don't forget to click the like button. Also hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell, so you know when to see our next stream. And obviously you can click the affiliate link in the description to join our F1 2022 Fantasy League on Grid Rival, which I still need to sign up to. But oh my goodness, Valentine's going to go for a very brave move on the right hand side, on the outside, into the bus stop chicane. So Valentine up into P2. His next target is Dino. He's got to get past Dino before the rain hits in, if there is one. But the question is, when the rain does fall, will it be enough for inters? Will it be enough for inters, or will it just be enough for the slicks? And if it's just slicks, that would cost Dino, that would cost Tom, that would cost Kryptonite. Oh my goodness, I am a big fan of this strategy. And make sure you keep it locked for the last 6 laps or so, 6-7 laps. Look at the traction of Valentine's getting that straight line speed as well. Absolutely fantastic. And I think Dino must be feeling the pressure at the moment in the Alpine cockpit. He's had some good races, had some unlucky races. His best result was a P2 in France. He could get a P1 if the strategy works his way. And according to my tyre data, if I just get it up, mediums last 14 laps. So it's pretty much at the sell-by date, and we had no VSC, we had no safety car. Now this is going to be the first PSGL race that I've ever commentated on at the moment that has no safety car. But knowing me, I probably jinxed myself, and there probably is going to be a safety car. So I'm not going to say things too much. But it's been a bit quite quiet in some parts of the race as well, but we are starting to see the people that have pitted earlier on catching up to the medium runners. So yeah, staying out from the start, probably not the best option, because the crossover point is now. So you have to take the risk sometimes, but you get weather slots, you get 6 weather slots as well, which last, and you can never predict when the race is going to fall, because sometimes it may say like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but it's within the 15-minute window. It could happen 23 minutes, 24 minutes, 30 minutes, 32 minutes, 34 minutes. So it's not really that exact as well. It could happen before the window. Oh, there is rain! There is rain! I see sparks of rain coming up. Well, not sparks of rain, sprinkles of rain. What are you on about, Jess? But anyway, Cazzizzle up into P4. Got past Bolan. And that was a crucial move that you need to do before the rain comes. And you can barely see the rain coming down on the Halo at the moment, but I definitely can on my PS5 at the moment. But it's not coming down the way it would like, so it may take a while for the rain to settle then. So this has thrown a spanner in the works for all drivers involved. So to be honest, I am very, very excited. I am dreading to see how they're going to take Blanchimont. And maybe the Camel Straight as well, past our Rouge. I don't know. It's the flat out section, you can't take flat out in the rain. So when we see people not taking it flat out through this kink here, that is when we're going to be like, oh, it's starting to rain heavier. But it's not yet. So Here we go then. Kryptonite was almost going for a move on Soro. Couldn't quite do it. But he has older mediums, so it's a risk to stay out. It's a risk to stay out because Dino knows he's got Valentine in his mirrors. Dino has got to hold on for dear life here. If I was him, I would be a nervous wreck. So he's just got to handle the pressure. If he drops positions, fair enough. He tried the strategy. He hoped it was going to pay off. It hasn't. And we know that Valentine's a quicker driver anyway. So we'll see what he can do. Soro is going to go and try and get the move on Kryptonite. But let's go on board with Dino and Valentine first. Valentine up into P1 in the race lead at the moment. Soro gets past Kryptonite into Lecom. Past the camel straight into P7. As they all make their way to past Bruchau and into Rivage. This section Rivage is going to be, I think, a little bit more understeery now in terms of the rain. So good luck to these drivers. But obviously, hopefully, these drivers have been practicing for the wet conditions. But obviously, quite a lot of people practice for the dries more than anything. But we shall see. And we're heading towards that 20 very, very soon. I have to say, Tom is... I said Tino, but I was meant to say Tom is catching up to Dino. So I do apologise. But anyway, Tom is catching up to Dino on old mediums. So I think Tom's time management is definitely a lot better. And his ERS management is a lot better as well. So not really that surprising. You could see that Dino's D-rate, or it might be the rain light actually. It might be, yeah, no, is it the rain light? No, actually he was on 10%. He was on 10%. Oh, Dino's gone a bit wide. So we know he's struggling on grip. Kryptonite is in then. Kryptonite is in. This could be game changing. Well, he had no other choice. He had to pit anyway. You have to use at least one different tyre compound and pit once, or you'll be disqualified. Kryptonite's in for mediums. Frankie is in for mediums. CC Brain then. Inters, sorry, not mediums. So Andrea's in for inters. Kryptonite's in for inters. Frankie's in for inters. And Azzy, I think, is he going to go for inters? Yes, he is. So Cohen, I think, will be coming in as well. It's starting to get slipperier out there. The track. Oh, I think, to be fair, it's the cusp. It's on the cusp of inters. I don't know. They're taking a huge gamble, but we'll see what the front guys do. And if we start see people crawling at the front, then we know that the ones outside of the top 11 would have made the right decision, but we'll see. Cohen has stayed out though, I believe. Yes, Cohen has stayed out. So he decided that it's not right to pit on Twins at the moment. It's coming down. It is coming down, but we will see. Frankie and Azzy having a bit of battles there. We're going to look compared to the lap times as well. Usually I might get Owen to do this, but since obviously I'm on my own, we can't do it, unfortunately. But we can see how much time they're losing compared to their fastest laps. We'll look at the fastest lap, actually. The fastest lap was set by Jack on the soft with a 1:43.711. And I think we're going to see times a lot slower than that. So, Dino, everyone's in, apart from Valentine. So Valentine decided it's not enough to go for inters yet, but has he made the wrong decision? We will see. Baraka stayed out as well. Tom's in. This could be huge. Tom could go for the race victory here. Same with Dino. They were holding on to their means for dear life. And with everyone else coming in, surely Valentine and Baraka have made a mistake by taking a gamble. It's starting to come down really hard now. It's slippery. It's very slippery. Surely Tom's going to catch to the top two. If I were you, I know F1 is starting now, but don't you dare tune out. This is going to be epic. Final few laps. Just stay put. Oh, Valentine, what have you done? A man who I thought was going to convert his pole to a race victory. He's probably bottled that chance now. Baraka, who came from the back of the grid because of a quality ban, he was on for a good result, and unfortunately, he's not going to get it because everyone else is boxed. Oh my goodness, Tom could be on for the race win. We will see. We'll see how much he's catching though. He is catching to Baraka. 13.1, but the gap is not dropping slightly. You never know. You never know. But with the track slippery, usually I would take the risk. I would take the risk in going on to Winters now. 12.9 is coming down thick and fast now. But I have to say, Valentin is not struggling that much, so he could still come out in the lead. I'm looking at the gap, actually, in the pit. 17 and a half. And what's gap to leader? 21. So, yeah, if Valentin pits now, he could still come out in the race lead. Valentin is a lucky puppy, he is. As long as he doesn't slide in the pit lane like he almost did and hit the wall. DRS disabled, then. DRS disabled, so we'll see if the undercut has worked. We'll find out. So, Valentin comes in. Now on Inters. Will he keep the race lead? Or will it be Tom? I know Tom will jump Baraka. Tom, final corner is going to be ever so close. Ever so close. Valentin just out of the pits. Oh, it's ever so tight. It's ever so tight. But Valentin by 2.2 seconds is your race leader still. He has probably saved my bacon. Tom in P2. But Baraka, due to the fact that he stayed down and had a massive gap, he has dropped down all the way to P8. But to be fair, he would probably take that in a heartbeat after starting last. But don't forget, he is your championship leader, so he's going to lose valuable points because of that strategy mistake. If he came in the same time as Tom, he would have been near his teammate. But still a long way to go. We've got 3 more laps to go of this race. Still anything can happen in F2, and it usually does. So, since everyone has pitted, Cohen is now in the pits and he has retired. And one unfortunate race. That makes it our only retirement so far. Good to see that people are surviving. To be honest, Cohen, I think, has been the only driver, I think, to have front wing damage, actually. So this is the cleanest race I've seen from PSF2 in a long time. So we'll run for your order then, with a few laps to go. Yeah, not the yellow flag, that's Cohen's AI. Okay, so Valentin is your race leader. Tom in P2. Bolan in P3. Dino in P4. Devon in P5. Nicolo Soro in P6. Kazidal P7. Baraka P8. Kryptonite P9. Ricky P10. Andrea P11. Jax P12. Steph P13. CC Brain P14. Frankie P15. And Addy in P16. Right, let me look at the gaps actually. Where is, actually no, position change, it's not gaps, what you on about? So Tom has gained the most. Tom has made the medium to inter strategy work perfectly. He managed his tyres better than all the other people who started on the alternate strategy. It's going to be a tough ask for him to catch up to Valentin for the race win, but you never know. There could be some small mistakes. El Rouge could come back and bite you. We will see. We'll have to wait and see on this one. So, but yeah, Tom doing a superb job. Meanwhile, we got some more battles. Tom's teammate, because it's all through Lacombe, gets past Soro. So I have to say, even though he's dropped down 2 places, he's having a very good race of damage limitation, and he's going to get some decent points out of it as well. So fair play to him. Again, another driver that does need to work on his consistency, and I think he's showing that he can work on his consistency tonight. So we'll see what he can do then for the rest of this race in the Aston Martin. Who else is close enough to make a move? I think they're all within, maybe Devon, potentially Ondina. You can start to see the spray coming on the cars now. And to be honest, Belgium is a track where there's sometimes where I'm good in the wet conditions, some I'm not. It depends obviously on the pace difference of the drivers, but most of these drivers are quite close in terms of pace range. Absolutely brilliant. So we are about to start the final lap of this Belgian Grand Prix, and I have to say, I think the only time it hasn't rained in Spa in PSGL F2 was last season. All the other PSGL F2 races had rain affected, either in quali or in the race. Actually, it might have been a wet quali last year, but last season, I can't remember. But F2 likes the rain here in Spa, doesn't it? So, Will anyone be able to get some last-minute overtakes? I doubt it, because there's no DRS and it's just so hard around here to follow each other and overtake in the rain due to the fact of the loss of downforce you're going to be getting. But Devon is going to prove us wrong, surely. He's using the overtake. He's caught up Dino a lot, but not quite close enough. I think he would. He knows that you'll get P4 due to the fact Dino has got a 3-second time penalty. So let me keep you up to date on the penalty situation. So Dino's on 3 seconds, Cazizzel's on 6, Jack's on 3 seconds, Frankie's on 6 seconds, and Addy is on 6 seconds. Everybody else is penalty free, which I'm quite shocked about. But don't be surprised to see more people get penalties maybe within the last lap or two, which could be huge. Hopefully people are not on their second warnings, because that could cost them. So I think Devin won't be fighting this one too much, because he's got a decent gap to Cazizzle. Cazizzle has also got a time penalty, so he's not going to fight too much. But let's go on board with a man who we thought bottled the race victory for not pitting the same time as the others, but due to the amazing gap that he's got, he is looking on course for getting his second win of the season and the first driver to win 2 times this season in PSGL F2. So Valentin crosses the line and he wins at Spa. Tom with an impressive P2. He's weaving in celebration. Jack's out the race. I don't know what has happened. That's for Blanchimont. You don't go flat out there, my friend. Bolin comes across the line in P3. A stellar result for the Mercedes man in P4. He had to deliver when Baraka couldn't. But still, decent points for both the Mercs. Devon in 4th, Dino 5th, Toro 6th, Baraka in P7 after starting last. Kryptonite in 8th, still some decent points for the Red Bull. He's racking up them today. It's, well, for this season actually. Because as George Russell once said, consistency is key. And Tom, unsurprisingly, gets driver of the day. And even though he was quite quiet at the start of the race, towards the end, he's played the strategy perfectly. But you got to talk about Valentin, because he has put a foot wrong all race. He lost the lead, I think, for a few laps, but he got the lead again from Bolin. It was fantastic. And the first person in F2 to obviously win twice and also convert a pole to a race victory. He does not get the fastest lap, so he does not get the hat-trick tonight. The fastest lap belongs to someone outside the top 10 because they retired, but they will still be classified. So, here we go then. Valentin wins from Tom, from Bolin, from Devon, from Dino, from Nicolo Soro, from Baraka, from Kryptonite, from Cazizzle, from Ricky. They're your top 10. They'll be getting points this evening. Huge mentions to Kryptonite from 14th to 8th, Baraka from 17th to 7th, Dino from 11th to 5th, Tom from 13th to 2nd, obviously Valentin from pole lights to flag. So 11th is CC Brain, 12th is Steph, not too bad. 13th is Frankie, 14th is Azzy, and then Andrea retired towards the end of that race, but he still will be classified, same with Jax. So your only retirement is Cohen, which, to be fair, I'm quite shocked that there's only one retirement. So fair play to everyone in F2 for keeping it clean, and hardly any retirements. It's great to see. So we would like to speak to some drivers because I am very keen to find out what is going on in this race. I really do. It's been absolutely epic, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. But it started off being like quite overcast around about laps 2, lap 3, I should say. But then it started getting clear again, and throughout the race it was still quite clear. And I was like, no, there's no way it was going to rain. The chat was lying to me and blah, 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 blah. But then it was getting darker, and the true drivers, the ones who performed well today, were the ones who got the call right to go on to Inters. And obviously, Valentin got past cars right. Tom did well to defend off the guys who pitted earlier on in the race as well. Absolutely fantastic. So hopefully we get to speak to them. So I will try and speak to them now. Just give me a moment. Let us know in chat who is your driver of the day. As I unmute myself on Discord as well. I've been on Discord this whole time, by the way. So yeah. So hopefully we have Spa next season as well. I keep saying that, obviously, for multiple reasons. Same with Jeddah as well. But just a quick reminder, for those of you that don't know, next Monday we are not racing because we're on our break week for PlayStation. So I get a nice Monday night off. I can't remember when was the last time I had a Monday off, to be honest. So I'm going to enjoy the break. And obviously a break from not managing the comms this week. So that'll be a nice change. And when we come back in just under 2 weeks' time, we will be at Zandvoort. Zandvoort is a track where hardly overtaking happens, unfortunately. But the strategy could come into effect, and that could make a difference between winning or losing. And I think another track which could have weather implications, and also the alternate strategy could work well as well. I was expecting at least Tom to go into the interview, because Tom likes to be interviewed. So if you're watching, I'm gonna ask people if they want to be interviewed. But yeah, Zandvoort should be fun. I'm not going to be here for Zandvoort. I will be away that week for Zandvoort on PlayStation, unfortunately. I'm celebrating my granny's 90th birthday, and we're going away for a week, so I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. Our first family holiday in 3 years, I think, because due to COVID, things change and all that jazz. So yeah, very, very excited. But anyway, it doesn't look like anyone's going to join us for the interviews, but knowing them... Oh, no, Tom's going to join us. Okay, here we go. So you won't get to see me for a while, and let's get into the interview scene. There we go. And let's drag Tom in, as he seems to be the only one that wants to be interviewed today. So, Tom, can you hear us? Doesn't look like Tom can hear us. Can you?
Hello?
Hello, Tom, can you hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Tom, what a performance for you. The call that you went to going on the Inters worked, and you managed to climb so many positions, and you got a podium as well. You probably wasn't expecting that coming into tonight's race, were you?
Well, I was hoping. I had good pace. I just went for P11 in quali, so I was hoping for a podium. I knew Valentin was rapid. Yeah, I'm happy with the podium. P13, that medium to interstrat was very good, but Valentin was just rapid, so couldn't win.
Yeah, so I think it got to the point where you weren't fighting for P1, you were just fighting just to keep yourself on the track in these last few laps, weren't you?
Yeah, I had 2 warnings as well, so I was just tripping around. I was trying my best not to go off the track and not get a pen.
Yeah, it must have been difficult, because I think I was even saying on the last lap, I pray to God that not many people have 2 warnings, because otherwise they would have had to be fighting for themselves. I could tell you were going for the honest strategy, by the way, because you were doing a typical technique where you were just slowing down towards the line. You could have been quicker for the top 5, to be honest, but it showed that you had pace around this circuit as well. And obviously you didn't score well in Jeddah last week. How crucial it is to get a decent result heading into the break week.
Well, yeah, last week was not my fault, so it was quite annoying. But it was just bad luck, and it was unfortunate. So, but this week I got fortunate, so I can't complain. And yeah, it's important, but I'm not sure where I'll be in the championship now, because I've crashed out so much. I'm actually awful.
You never know, there's still quite a long way to go in this championship, and when we do go back in just under 2 weeks' time, we head to, I believe, if I got it right, I did say it to the guys in the stream, but we do head to Zandvoort in a couple of weeks' time on the 4th of April. Is that a track you got on well? Did you do well last time in F3?
Well, I actually had a penalty before the race and then crashed into someone on the VSC. So yeah,
Ouch.
can't wait for next week. Well, in 2 weeks. But yeah, it's a track that you literally have to be good at qualifying, and I'm not very quick in quali there, so it's probably not going to be very good. But hopefully, I've got a week off college, and I can maybe put in more practice than I did this week. And
There
be
we go.
fast.
That's good. That's good timing, isn't it? Break week for PSGL, and then you got a week off just to get a bit of swimming sweat. So because you are having that week off as well, do I expect you to get a cheeky dub in Zandvoort?
I mean, maybe not, because I've never been fast there. Like, I never really win there in any league, but hopefully, yeah.
Yes, and do you think you still have a chance for this championship now that of certain drivers did not perform, or do you think you're just going to settle for like top 10? Would you say?
Well, I'm hoping to get top 3 with Baraka and Valentin probably going to be ahead of me, but if I can challenge them, then I'll try my best, because if I had more luck this season, I probably would be up there, but because like Monaco, Jeddah, Austria, stuff like that, where I've been fighting for a win and ended without a single point, I could be up there, but I'm not. I'm about 7th, so hopefully I can just get more consistent, and that'll put me higher in the championship.
Fingers crossed. A massive result for you as well, and obviously enjoy your week off college and the PSGL, and best of luck for Zandvoort. We'll let you go and celebrate. Superb race for you. Well done.
Thanks, Joe.
Right then, so we are going to wrap up the stream then. So let me get my camera on again so I can speak to you lovely people. So thank you all for watching the stream tonight. Again, thanks to our sponsor, Grid Rival. We have got a 2022 Fantasy League for F1, which has just started, even though we had the Bahrain Grand Prix in real life last night. That doesn't mean you registrations are closed. You can still sign up for it as well and get points from Saudi Arabia onwards. And I have to say, I always have fun with fantasy leagues, but usually I just forget to predict sometimes. But yeah, click the affiliate link in the description for more information, so you can find out a bit more about Grid Rival. Also, thank you very much to all the drivers that took part tonight. Thank you to you lot at home for watching. If you're liking the content you're seeing on the PSGL channel, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when to see a stream from us next. Also, check my socials out. I'm at JessGames95. And yeah, I appreciate the following. But check out PSGL on Twitter as well, at PremierSimGL as well. I can't remember how many followers they are, but we're almost reaching a good milestone, so I would recommend it. So, just like I said, 2 weeks time, I won't be here. Hopefully Owen will be back in 2 weeks time to cover the Dutch Grand Prix. If I'm not out with my family, then I might be watching it in our hotel as well. Oh, actually, no, we're not staying in our hotel, actually. We're staying in an apartment, but there we go. Anyway, actually, we could be travelling then, but I don't know. Anyway, I've been Jess. Have a good evening. And if you want some more Belgian Grand Prix action, make sure you check out the F1 tier, which is just about to go on to the end of their qualifying and about to start their race. I have a guaranteed feeling that is going to be just as epic as F2, so make sure to check it out. It's commentated by Luke Etheridge and Aidan Carter, so check those both out. Also, F3 and F4 stream at the same time as us, so after all the other streams are finished tonight, make sure you check those out. And we also got F5, F6 and F8 streaming now, as well as F1. So plenty of action to keep you entertained throughout the night. Have a good evening. See you in 2 weeks' time for the Dutch Grand Prix. No race next week, so don't expect a stream next week. I will see you soon in 2 weeks' time. Well, I will see you in 2 weeks' time. I'll see you in 3 weeks' time, but the F2 stream will see you in 2 weeks' time for the Dutch Grand Prix. Goodbye.